Hello world, welcome to another episode of the Inspired to Go podcast. I'm your host Wale Afelumo. For those joining me for the first time, I'm a pastor, an author and a certified marriage and family counselor. I've spent over 15 years helping couples build homes that last at both the marital and premarital levels. I've had the privilege to sit with couples in their happiest moments and sometimes walk with them through their darkest valleys. I've had 24 years of marriage experience with my wife, Wale Afelumo. And so it's my privilege to be connecting with you through this platform. I believe that this will be very useful to couples that may be experiencing a storm or seeing patterns that they are unfamiliar with in their relationship and are looking for how to find lasting and meaningful solution. I'd like to encourage you to share this with a friend and tell somebody about the Inspired to Go podcast so they can join and be a part of the great materials that I put out every now and then. Today we are starting a brand new, very special series that I have called Heal Yesterday, Love Today. We will explore the deep, often invisible connection between your past and your marriage. Yes, there is a connection between your past and your marriage. Have you ever been in an argument with your spouse and suddenly you hear words come out of your mouth that sound exactly like your father? Or maybe you just close up or shut down during an argument just like your mother used to do. Or maybe you are the person who uses silence to manipulate a situation as you saw one of your parents do. And you catch yourself thinking, where did this come from? Or where did that come from? Well, that is why you are listening to this. We often like to think our marriage is a fresh start. We stand at the altar, we say, I do, and we think, voila, the past is gone, old things are passed away. It's a new day. But the truth really is, we all bring luggage from our childhood. We're a product of the families that nurtured us. And all of that history and experience are brought into a marriage by both spouses. Understand that you are coming from somewhere. Whatever fruits you see in your marriage today are the result of certain roots, some of them buried within the soil of childhood and past experiences. So today we're going to talk about the family baggage. We're going to unpack the bags we didn't even know we are carrying, or find ways to help us expose hidden wounds and find ways to heal them in the second episode to this podcast. I want to give you a simple picture to help you understand why you act the way you do. Every person walking into a marriage is a graduate from the University of Mom and Dad. Think about that for a moment. Have you realized that for the first 18 to 20, for some people 22 years of your life, you were in a classroom? You didn't have textbooks, but you had professors, and those were your parents. You were watching them. You were learning. How do we handle money? Do we yell when we are angry? Do we hug? How do we show intimacy? Do we hit? Is it okay to go on and on without talking to your partner? Now, here's the truth. We learn more from watching than from listening. In other words, from observation than from instruction. Your parents might have told you to be kind, but if they were abusive to each other, you learned abuse. If they were distant, you learned distance. If they lacked empathy and were insensitive to each other's feelings, that's the course you studied in their university, and perhaps today you're a graduate of that course. This is what I call transferring dysfunctional patterns borrowing from yesterday to govern today. It's like downloading an operating system on a computer. If your parents' marriage had a virus, for example, like poor communication, the virus of verbal abuse or domestic violence, you downloaded that virus. And now you're trying to run your marriage on that old corrupted software. If you came from a home where abuse was normal, you might find yourself either repeating it or being constantly defensive. You are reliving your parents' marriage without even realizing it. Let me give you a practical example I see often in counseling. You may be fighting your father in your husband. Has that ever occurred to you? Perhaps you felt your father abandoned you and did not do as much as he should have for your family. That pain is still there. So when you see your husband, maybe try to take a break from work, even a legitimate break, you panic. You think he's being lazy, afraid that he may soon be unable to earn enough to take care of you and the children, and then you lash out at him. Let me submit to you that you are not yelling at your husband. You are yelling at the ghost of your father. That is the virus that is at work. For some of you, a young man, perhaps you saw your mother nag at your father over and over again. So when your wife today brings a legitimate concern or a correction, you can see your mother trying to reign over your father and control him, and then you lash back and you become aggressive and violent. It's not your wife. You're fighting something from the past. Now let's take this a little deeper. Imagine trying to build a skyscraper. You want it to reach the heavens. You want it to be beautiful. You want it to be a talk of the town. But if the foundations has cracks, the building will wobble when the wind blows. And really, in marriage, marital crises often come to test your foundation. If you are familiar with the Bible, it talks about a man who built on a foundation of sand and another that built on a foundation of stones. And the winds blew, the rains poured, the storms arose. One foundation stood, the other fell. And so crises come to test your foundation. Your family background is your foundation. If you grew up seeing lies or fear or abuse, your foundation has cracks of distrust. If you saw violence, you may become a very aggressive and defensive personality. In fact, you will see apologizing as weakness. And even when your spouse shows you their soft side, maybe apologize or yield to something that you have done instead of fighting. Because you have been built for the fight, instead of embracing them, you become predatory like a lion and you want to take advantage of them. This is why some people cannot handle kindness. They didn't see it in their foundation, so they don't know how to build on it. When you overreact to your spouse today, I want you to pause and ask yourself, is this about what my spouse just did? Or is this about what my father used to do? Are you reacting to the present, or are you fighting a ghost from the past? Is this an unresolved past that is pressing its foot on the neck of my marriage? Those are good questions to ask yourself so that your spouse, your wife, your husband does not become an unnecessary victim of a battle they know nothing about. We have to be brave enough to inspect the foundation of our lives, where we are coming from. If we don't, the building will eventually come down. Now, this leads us to the consequences of that faulty foundation. I will call this the invisible wound. Now, in marriage, trust is big currency. If you don't have trust, you are broke in marriage, and that marriage will eventually be broken. But many of us enter marriage with old wounds. Maybe you had a past experience, abuse, a mistake you regret, or a bad breakup. These are like physical injuries. What a physical injury will do to your body, all these emotional wounds, bad experience in the past can do to your marriage, can do to your emotional frame of mind. Let me give you this illustration that perfectly describes many marriages today. Do you remember going to the hospital as a kid and a nurse was meant to treat a wound on your arm or leg? Well, I remember. I was a candidate a number of times. Their slightest touch will make you give a shout or shrieking cry. Ah, yeah, don't! And that cry is not commensurate to the touch. Although the nurse has come to heal and mend you, you are very sensitive and sometimes unreceptive to their attempts. Now, this mirrors what happens in marriage when you are still living with the wounds of your past. You end up misinterpreting every attempt to touch and connect with you. You will see the person whom God brought to heal you and mend you as an enemy. You will see the woman God brought into your life to be a helper, as a threat, as a competition. If you have a broken arm that never healed and your spouse tries to hug you, for example, you will flinch, and it's not really your spouse. It's because there is a pain that you carry in your shoulder or in your arm. And then your spouse is there thinking, he doesn't love me. She doesn't love me. But the reality is that you are in pain. And if you hide your pain, if you hide your past, like your medical history, the financial debts you've incurred, your trauma, the experiences of your upbringing, you are building on a foundation of sand. You're building on a sinkhole. Secrets in marriage guarantee troubles in marriage. You cannot be intimate with someone you are hiding from. I like to say in my marriage class, there can be no intimacy if there is no intimacy. There can be no intimacy in your marriage if there is no intimacy. Now, friends, your history may explain you, but it does not have to define you. Just because you learned a bad habit doesn't mean you have to keep it. I want you to take a moment today. Look at your marriage. What is one habit you have that looks just like your parents? Talk about it with your spouse. Talk about why you shout. Talk about why you feel insecure. Talk about why you are aggressive. Talk about why you often want to spoil for a fight. Let them know where you're coming from. Be vulnerable. And where your spouse exposes their weakness or their vulnerability with you, don't use it against them. Listen, show empathy and understanding. If you are listening to this and realizing, Wale, I have these cracks, I have these wounds, Pastor. Well, I don't want to leave you there. I would like to invite you to register for my online married courses. I have the married preparatory course for those intending to get married, and also the rock solid couples care for married couples who are 3 years and above in marriage. To get more information, you can send a WhatsApp message to 09080 million. Just write info about online married course or visit waleafelumo.com. One word, waleafelumo.com, and go to courses and you'll be guided from there. Also, if you want daily encouragement to help you heal, restore your soul, and rewire your mind, I want to encourage you to download the Inspired to Go daily devotional app. It's free, it's powerful, and it's been changing lives the world over. Remember, you can't change your ancestors, but you can change your descendants. Your children don't have to be exposed to what you were exposed to. you can pioneer a new order. Remember that your children are now students in your university. What are they learning? What curriculum are you training them with? In the next episode, I'm going to hand you the tools to fix your foundation. I'm going to give you the repair kit. You don't want to miss it. Until then, I'm Wale Afelumo. God bless you.